Hey gang, Bison here. Got this little stove here as a gift. Just want to do a quick review on it. This is the Vargo Titanium Triad XE. Now this is a dual fuel stove. The inside part here is where you would put your denatured alcohol. And then the little spot here underneath that portion is where you would use one of your SBIT type fuel tablets, or the trioxane bars that used to come in the MREs, and you can still find them in military surplus places. This is the fuel that is recommended, SLX denatured alcohol, and I also bought a little Vargo fuel bottle to hold the fuel. Now the one cool thing about this is you can fold in the bottom legs to have on flat ground, or if you want more security, they unfold and you can actually stick them in the dirt. The one thing I really do not like about this is these little prongs at the top. I wish they folded out more and kind of laid down flat a little more, because it doesn't work well. I already tried it with a rounded bottom cup like this one, which is of course the one that I carry in both of my bags. So that just kind of, it flops around. It doesn't seat properly. And if we're going to try this with a canteen cup, you kind of got to get it in between the prongs. It doesn't sit on top of the prongs. Let me get the camera off the tripod so you can see what I'm talking about. Kind of sits like that, so it's pretty good right now. I'm just afraid that when it starts bubbling and boiling, it may bounce around, but let's fire it up and give her a test. It's back on here. We shall move the water for a moment. Zoom in. Move the fuel out of the way, safety. Now what I'm doing here is I'm opening this up, placing it down here. I'm going to put a couple ounces of fuel inside of it. Like so. Then we put the top on here. Put her back in the middle. And then it recommends you prime the top of it with a few drops, like so. Now let's get our torch. We'll fire up. Did nothing. There we go. It's actually very hard to see the flame, but she is started. You can see it starting. Let me get the camera down here. It's getting there. Let's give it a few seconds. I guess it's got to work through all those little holes. Alright, it took a few seconds, but there is flame. I know it's hard to see. Let me see if I can get a little back here. You see there is flame there. Now let's put our cup on here and see how long she takes to boil. Let me do this without burning myself. Alright, let's just see how long that takes. Be back in a few. Alright gang, I'm back. It took about 5 minutes. I started to get a slight bubble action. when it died out and it ran out of fuel. And the amount of fuel I put in there was just about filling it to the brim. But maybe there's too much water in here. But it does work. It is made, I believe, to hold a larger pot on top of it. I'm not truly sold on it. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's better with a larger pot. And would stink if you didn't have enough fuel in there. You know, you have to wait for it to cool to open it up. But other than that, it's a good little stove. I would use a smaller pot with it or a smaller cup. But it did start to boil in about 5 minutes, and then it ran out of fuel. So maybe at that point I would just dump out the center and throw in the S-bit to continue. You have two options, so it's up to you, gang. I'm kind of neutral on the whole thing here. Honestly, I don't think it's worth $30. I wouldn't have bought this myself, and if I was you, I wouldn't buy it either, because you can make one cheaper with a Coke can. I'm not impressed with it, but again, in an emergency situation, as a backup item to have, why not? But not worth 30 bucks. Alright, gang, that's my 2 cents on it. Thanks for watching. Bison out.